Welcome to One Insight. My name is Rich Litvin. I grew up in London and I now live in LA. And this is a podcast for extraordinary top performers and their coaches. You see, I've coached some of the most successful and talented people on the planet. I can see what most people cannot see, and I dare to say what most people wouldn't dare to say. And what I know about success is that on the other side of it, it can be incredibly lonely. You can feel more of an imposter the more successful you become. And when you're the most interesting person in the room, you're actually in the wrong room. Clients who are more successful, more intelligent, and wealthier than you need your support more than they know and more than you can imagine. I coach around insight. Life looks one way, something happens, and the world looks different, and your entire world changes. It can happen in an instant. And this podcast is called One Insight because a single insight can change everything. Stop trying to increase your fees and start by increasing your value. That's the mistake we make. So whilst I'm talking about creating high fees, you've got to start by creating more value. I want to create value for you on something you're not even paying for. How are you creating value for your clients before they even become a client? Here, I'll give you a bunch of ways you can create value for clients and potential clients. For clients, make surprise calls. Hey, checking in. How are you doing? Send surprise text messages and avoid how's life. Say, how did that conversation go with your senior vice president? What did your board of directors make of your proposal? How's the relationship with your child after you got that insight on a last call? Get really specific. Send an article to a client. Send a book to a client, but never just, here's a great article, here's a great book. Here's a book for you, Bart. I was thinking of you. And based on our last coaching session, we talked about this. Chapter 4, the second paragraph, I think this will really make a difference to your life. Get that specific. You just send someone a book in the mail, it's another Amazon package that ends up on their doorstep. And if they're a reader like I am, actually I shudder when somebody sends me a book as a gift because I've got piles of books to read. But if you send me a book and you say, hey, read this paragraph, I promise you I'll read it. Write an article for a client. You finish a coaching session, get an insight, you see them get an insight, turn that into an entire article that you publish to your newsletter, even if you have 5 people who read your newsletter, and then tell your client, I wrote an article for you. That's creating value. That's client astonishment. If you normally meet over Zoom and you feel comfortable with COVID shifting, then invite them to meet you in person. Meet me at a restaurant, meet me at a hotel. Let's go for a walk in nature. They live thousands of miles from you. Who cares? Invite them anyway. I just invited a client to meet me. He lives on the other side of the United States. He said, I'd love to. And he flew across here and spent 3 days with me. I didn't charge him anything extra for that. It's client astonishment. How can you create the value of the work that you do so that you know, my God, are they getting value from what we do? Meet them in an unusual place. I've coached clients in a graveyard, one of the most powerful places I've ever coached a client. Meet them on the beach. Even if you don't want to meet them in person, you're not ready yet, tell them, hey, for our next call, we're going to both meet in a graveyard. Tell me the one you're going to be in, and I'll tell you the one I'm going to be in. We're going to both meet on the beach. It won't be in person because we live 3,000 miles apart. What beach will you be at? Here's the beach I'll be at. You do 30-minute calls? Tell them, hey, next week, we've got an hour-long call. You run hour-long calls? Hey, next week, we're going to run for 90 minutes. Create more value, astonish them. Here's a great one. Serve 2 layers deep. Ask your client to tell you, what's the biggest problem that your client or your customers or your team or your board of directors or your boss is facing right now? Let's solve their problem. Serve 2 layers deep. That one is a fantastic way to create value for your client because not only do you go have a great coaching session, they go and do something that has an immediate impact on someone they work with. If you want to really serve 2 layers deep, after that session, you can say to them, hey, would you like me to come and do something with your senior team? Hey, would you like me to come and be an observer as you do run the next board meeting, and offer a way to create even more value. Here's a great way to create value. If you have some one-on-one clients and then you're about to run an event or a retreat, create scholarship opportunities or gift ticket opportunities for your high-end clients to come and join some of your other programs at no charge. Now, don't tell them it's free. Hey, Michelle, I'm running a small retreat in the south of France with 5 of my group coaching clients. Would you like to come along as my guest? You'd be my guest. You'd be part of that. What happens when you do that? 1, you astonish the current clients by creating even more value for them. But 2, you put them with your other clients who start to say, oh, what's it like to work with them one-on-one? And it's what I call advocate marketing. You don't have to do anything. They're just going to ask, and you create enough value for those one-on-one clients, they'll tell other people about you. For most of human history, it wasn't called coaching, it was called leadership. And it's what I love to do, to coach people, to lead people, and to mess with people's thinking. If you'd like more of this, or if you'd like to learn more about our community of extraordinary top performers, go to richlitvin.com/oneinsight.